What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everyone who support the platform. Much love, much love. Salute to everybody in the building. If y'all are here, you can hear me clearly. Please put a number 1 in the chat. Please put a number 1 in the chat. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Please put a number 1 in the chat so we can get into today's show. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone in the building. And of course, welcome back to Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I'm your host, DS1 Ross. Of course, I appreciate all the love and the support. Salute to everyone in the building. Shout out to all the visionaries in the chat. Shout out to everyone in the clouds. We are going to get to it today. We are going to get to it today. Happy Memorial Day to everyone. Happy Memorial Day to everyone. If you were tuned in, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share button. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share button. Share it on your community tabs, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere that you share content. Make sure y'all share today's show. It's very much appreciated. Make sure y'all share today's show. Salute to everyone. Let me share it out. And then I'm going to give some shout outs to you guys in the chat. Share it out real quick. Because we're going to get into it today. Okay, awesome. So let's see who's in the building. Let's see who's in the building. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. What's up, Chilling with Love? Shout out to Chilling with Love TV. Shout out to you. Good to see you. Shout out to Miss Zahara. Shout out to you, Miss Zahara. Hey, Miss Angie. Shout out to Miss Angie B. Always coming through and holding down the Chizat. Shout out to you, Miss Angie. Shout out to you, Cuzzo. Salute, salute. Happy Memorial Day, man. Shout out to Jeff Reviews in the building. What's good, Double C? Salute to Double C in the building. Shout out to my man Boogeyman. Salute, salute. Hey, Miss Camille. Shout out to Miss Camille in the building. Good to see you, sweetheart. Good to see you. Good to see you. Shout out to my man MR. Salute, salute. What's good, Mark? Shout out to Mark McJoy. Dale Diddy in the building. Salute, my brother. Salute, salute, my brother. Club Fortune. What's good, Club Fortune? What's up, L'Oreal? Yes, ma'am. Shout out to Miss L'Oreal in the building. Shout out to the OG Mace. What's good, Mace? What's going on, Mace? Hey, Mona. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone. We are going to get into it today. We are going to get into it today, fellas. Man, I have to give my take on this interview with DaNaia Jackson. Derek Jackson's I guess ex-wife now, I guess. Who knows? But y'all see today's show. She loves a narcissist. She can't love you. The DaNaia Jackson archetype. See, And I know a lot of people going to take this stream the wrong way. Doesn't matter. Shout out to Ray Stansberry. Salute. Hey, Raven, what's up? Right? A lot of people going to take this the wrong way. See, because one thing that I don't like from anyone, male or female, is when you try to play victim or pretend like you're the victim of something that you're not a victim of. See, because what we don't understand is or what we never ask is, how many times is this same person going to be a victim? How many times do you put yourself in the same predicament to receive the same outcome, and you can continue to consider yourself a victim? Shout out to my man Zeus. What's good, Zeus? Salute, my brother. Shout out to you, man. How many times? See, I know y'all want to hear the conventional internet talk. Oh, Derek Jackson is the narcissist. Derek Jackson ruined her life. Derek Jackson is the worst guy in the world. Well, we're going to watch some of this interview, and we're going to see just how bad Derek is. Because see, listen, what a lot of these women like to do is they love to play victim when shit don't go their way. They're a willing participant up until things start to not go their way. And when things begin to not go their way, they have a way, or these women always have a trump card. See, we're going to get into this interview, and I want y'all to pay attention to her body language. Pay attention to how she speaks. Just pay attention to her whole disposition. We're going to get into this shit today because, see, this is not, this right here, fellas, these are the type of women right here you better be aware of. The DaNaia Jackson types, you better be aware of them. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Because these types of women, they don't love men. They don't love men. Understand this. And we're gonna go and we're gonna break down just what she say, how she say shit. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Shout out to my brother Dale Diddy. He said it comes to a point where you're no longer a victim, you're a volunteer. Thank you, my brother. Shout out to Dale Diddy. I appreciate the super chat, bro. And we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. We are going to get into that. Raven says, it seemed to me she only had a problem once she started getting publicly embarrassed and humiliated. We're going to get into that. See, I just wanted to speak on how everyone's looking for Derek. Oh, Derek, he's a narcissist. See, because one thing these women know how to do online is they know how to play victim. And the number one word that they use to play victim, they use that word narcissist. But notice, these women they only call the men that they were with. And I'm not saying DaNaia did this, because I didn't hear DaNaia call Derek a narcissist. I'm talking about the women calling Derek a narcissist, who's speaking on the situation. I'm not saying DaNaia called him a narcissist, because she didn't. I'm talking about all you people who speaking on this situation, and the first thing come out your mouth is, she's a victim of a narcissist. Derek was a narcissist. Really? Well, today we're going to dig into a little bit of DaNaia. See, because I never liked Derek Jackson. I'm not Team Derek. We've been said from day one, Derek Jackson is a bozo. We've been said this day one. Okay? It was y'all women who are now calling Derek a narcissist, right? Who was saying that the men who were warning y'all women about Derek, that we were hating. Hey, Shatera. Oh, y'all just hating on Derek. Astro Atmosphere, salute, bro. Oh, y'all hating on Derek. Oh, y'all just saying that because he handsome. Y'all just saying that because he in shape. Y'all just saying that because y'all want to be him. But all the shit that we said about Derek Jackson years ago and has been saying for years, now he's the narcissist. Why the men that y'all are infatuated with, why when it don't work out, the man is a narcissist all of a sudden? But when you was madly in love and you was getting dick down and you was getting all these gifts and getting all this shit, he was none of that. He was everything you ever wanted in a man. He was your dream guy. Then when things don't go your way, he's a narcissist. See, we're not going to keep playing these games. We're not going to keep playing these games. Y'all not going to keep running around here throwing that word around. Every goddamn man you fall for, and because he don't do what you want him to do, now he's a goddamn narcissist. No, we're not playing that game. Because this is what a lot of y'all women are running around here doing. This is what y'all doing to Derek Jackson. Because the men never said Derek Jackson was a narcissist. He's not a narcissist. He's a fucking clown. He's your average lying ass manipulative dude. That's Derek Jackson. Now he's a narcissist? How? Well, we're gonna listen to his victim. Since he's a narcissist, right? This guy is so horrible. Oh my God. Let's listen to his victim. Let's hear how she feels and how she sounds about being with this narcissist. You know, what's up, Kari? Kari says, I watched the entire interview. She never referred to him as a narcissist or narcissistic. She also owned up to the role she played in their relationship and marriage. Oh, oh, oh yeah. We're gonna get into the first part. We're gonna get into this, Kari. Because see, what I like to point out is y'all know me. I like to point out the little subtle details. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Shout out to everybody in the building. If you are here, hit the like button. Hit the like button and share the show. Hit the like button and share the show. Raven says, LOL, a narcissist will only be in an environment that they can thrive in. They won't be able to survive with someone who only put up with their shenanigans. Oh yeah. Barbie doll witch. Hurry. Hurry what? Hurry what? But let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Because you know, Derek was a narcissist, guys. He was a narcissist. Fair use, fair use. This is fair use, fair use, fair use. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Shout out to Fair Soul in the building. What's good, Fair Soul? Let me put up my fair use banner. Okay. Now let's get to it.
Toxic behavior and cycles with holding things in, not talking about it. What did I get myself into, right? And now I'm practicing toxicity, right? I'm practicing toxic behavior and cycles with holding things in, not talking about it, and then either being passive aggressive or just super aggressive,
Yeah.
but nothing in between. And then he has no idea what's
Hold up. Hold up. Now, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all heard what she said. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all heard what she said. Now, red flag number 1. She said she was either passive aggressive or extra aggressive. What's up, Brownie? What's going on? I'm going to play it again. But pay attention because people love to put what a lot of these women like to do online is they like to play this victimhood shit. See, the victimhood is part of the sisterhood. It's the sisterhood of victimhood. This is what this shit is about. Watch this. I'm going to play it again. And notice, this is how the first part of the interview starts off. So you know it was edited. Because how it starts, it was edited. Watch this.
what's going on, because what did I get myself into, right? And now I'm practicing toxicity, right? I'm practicing toxic behavior and cycles with holding things in, not talking about it, and then either being passive aggressive or just super aggressive,
Yeah.
but nothing in between. And then he has no idea.
Hold up. Where's all this aggression coming from? All this aggression is coming from a victim? First of all, let's take a Let's take a look at the optics of this situation. Look at her posture. Does she have the posture of a victim? Listen to how she's explaining herself. Where's the hurt in her voice? Where's the sorrow? Where is her regretting what she's done? Can y'all sense any of this? It's women in the chat room. Y'all ladies, do y'all sense any of this? Do y'all sense that anything bad has happened to her? Just pay attention throughout this whole conversation. Does she have the body language of a victim? The tone of a victim? Usually victims of narcissistic men, they don't know how to explain things like that. She knows how to explain things very clear and concise. Let's continue.
Idea what's going on because he doesn't know what I'm freaking out about.
And what you done seen,
right.
What prompted you to start looking through his phone?
I would always get like a feeling, or he would touch me different, right? So after most rape victims are very sensitive to touch. And so any sign of him touching me, any type of any different, I'm like, there has to be there has to be somebody else. There has to be,
You're
right?
talking about with a change of a touch.
With a change of a touch. There has to be, right? And so I would go snooping around because I'm a snooper.
I never imagined.
I appreciate that, SB. Shout out to you. She says, love your work. Keep grinding. Shout out to you. I love your work as well. Always sharing your content. I appreciate it. I appreciate you stopping by, and I appreciate your support. Shout out to Ms. SB. Shout out to Mr. Security Boss as well. Shout out to y'all. Now, notice what she just said. Peep how this whole thing just started. Peep how this whole thing just started. Because what's going around about Derek is, oh, he's a narcissist. When we're going to get into today how some of these women love narcissistic men. They love them. And DaNaia Jackson she's one of the archetypes that love these types of men. And we're going to get into this interview, and we're going to pick things out and show y'all and prove to y'all how there's women who love these types of men. All these women are not victims. See, what a lot of them came online and created this illusion that all of these women who deal with these type of men are victims, and that they don't create these types of situations for themselves, and they don't enjoy being with these types of men because they can't go be with other types. They can't, when it's time for them to go be with other types of men, they're not even attracted. See, we're going to listen to DaNaia talk about how attracted she was to Derek Jackson. You see? But then these women will get up here and break down these men and, oh, this is how he's a narcissist. And the narcissistic man does this, and the narcissistic man, you know, they try to get into the details. We're going to get into the details of you women who love these types of men, and to warn the brothers to beware of these types of women. Because a lot of times Good guys get with these types of women on the rebound. We end up meeting a woman like this when she just left a dude like a Derek Jackson, left a whole toxic relationship where she had a whole bunch of wild, crazy, sick, depraved stuff going on. And then you get with her and you trying to bring some order in her life and you wondering why she's not receptive to it. You wondering why she's always fighting what's good for her. See, a lot of us guys, we don't understand this. You see? It's because a lot of these women, once they get away from those types of guys that they really want to be with, and they realize that those guys never really wanted them, they're no good for no other men because they don't know how to be a woman for another type of guy, because these women become infatuated with these types of guys. And we're going to show this with DaNaia Jackson. She was infatuated with Derek. She didn't love Derek Jackson. She was infatuated with him. She was literally infatuated with this dude. Watch, we're going to get into it. Shout out to everyone. Salute to everyone in the building. Right, L'Oreal. No crying in the voice. UFO, salute. Let's get back to it.
This episode is nothing short of God get you to come on their platforms. Why have you said no to all of them and yes to the Dear Future Wifey podcast?
One, because the Lord didn't give me permission to go on any other platforms. So I have to be obedient to him. And
red flag number one. Red flag number one. Now, how you just come out of nowhere and so now the Lord is guiding you. Notice this is another little trait that these narcissistic loving women, they love trying to bring up God, spirituality. Notice this. They all have these things in common. If God was in your life at any point, how you end up with Derek? Let's continue.
When you reached out to me, it was automatic, like, yes. And so here I am, being obedient to the Lord. But second to that is that I haven't had an opportunity to have a voice or to have my voice heard. It's been drowned out with all of the noise, all of the drama surrounding my life and marriage and all of that. So I appreciate you creating a safe space for me to come and speak about my truth, my life, and allow my voice to be.
Red flag number two. There's no such thing as my truth, ma'am. There's no my truth. You're either telling the truth or you're telling a lie. There is no my truth. See, this my truth shit was created here on the internet. And all y'all women who love these narcissists, when y'all want to come up here and finally try to get some get back, y'all come up here and start telling y'all truth. And y'all truth is usually not the whole truth. That's why it's your truth. Because your truth got some of your lies in it. So I don't want to hear that shit. There's no such thing as my truth. If you notice, before this internet social media shit blew up, you never heard nobody say, that's my truth. If you ever grew up as a young boy and you ever told somebody, if your mama or your daddy ever asked you, hey boy, what happened? Well, my truth is this happened. They'd be like, what? Boy, what happened? And tell me the truth. What the hell is my truth? See, this is the shit that be throwing me off about you grown-ups. Y'all come on the internet and start making shit up and then try to validate it. You never used my truth when you was a little boy. You never used my truth when you was a little girl. You couldn't tell your grandmama, well, grandma, that's my truth. You might have blood in your mouth. You told your grandmama that's your truth. You might have some lashes on your ass telling your grandma, that's my truth. No, your truth is a lie. She's lying. See that? She getting ready to get up here and play victim. Because usually that's part of your truth. Telling your victim side of the story. That's your truth. There's no such thing as my truth. Either you're going to tell the truth or you're going to tell a lie. So I had to point that out. That's another point of deception. There's no such thing as my truth. And you just brought up the Lord. So what you mean your truth? What you mean your truth? You believe in the Lord, right? So there is no your truth. Let's get back to it.
Be heard so that others can be healed and made whole as I testify.
You know, on the podcast, we have a mantra. We say we keep it lit. We live intentionally and transparently.
Yes.
Are you going to keep it lit today?
Lit all the way.
All the way.
Here's the problem again. We going to keep it lit. See how we try to, see how they try to mix all this stuff in? Pay attention.
Turned up.
You and I have had some conversations in the pre-interview. We've been getting to know each other for about the last week and a half.
Yes.
And man, when I tell you, I've been blown away by your transparency, your vulnerability. You know, and social media had this way of trying to make you look like you crazy.
Yes.
And when I met you, I talked to you, I was like, this girl, not only is she not crazy, she's absolutely brilliant. So
wow.
What was that? What was that about?
Well, you know, I think the world did not see me for so many years, so they have nothing to go off of.
Facts.
And so they're seeing me for the first time when all of this crazy stuff is going on. And then I'm sitting up here talking about Jesus, talking about a helmet of salvation. So it's like, oh, she has lost her mind. You know, she is
Cuckoo for Cocoa
right. And I'm like, I'm saying I have a sound mind and I know what's going on right now because I've been delving into the word. I'm discerning the time that I'm in from a spiritual state. And now I'm trying to protect what sanity I do have with the word of God. So I think that's kind of what fueled all of that. They're trying to get a feel for who I am.
But you haven't always been a Christian.
No.
Look, I want to take an opportunity to get to know you before we talk.
Salute to my guy, Wax AP in the building. Salute. Shout out to the Nile in the building. Appreciate y'all support. But notice what she just said. She hasn't always been a Christian. Hasn't Derek always been a Christian? Wasn't Derek a Christian? Huh? See, because notice how things are starting to not line up already. Let's continue. Let's keep listening. Let's keep listening. I'm still trying to find out where she a victim at. I'm still listening for that.
talk about what everybody wants to know, because like I said, I want to provide this opportunity for us to get to know you,
Yes.
DaNaia, outside of your spouse. Who is DaNaia?
DaNaia is a girl from Denver, Colorado, born and raised. I have some brothers and three brothers and a sister. And while I was introduced to Christianity and actually did have some roots in the church, you know, I had to figure out that on my own. I had to identify with Christ and believing in him on my own. And so when I was younger, I had a belief in Christ, but I felt like I was doing it more so because that, you know, that's what I was supposed to do.
Right.
You know, you're supposed to believe in God. You're supposed to do this. And I'm very shy. I'm very reserved and laid back. But then at the same time, you can get a side of me that's very just like let's throw some spikes in your hair and like just go, you know, do something completely odd that nobody's expecting. So you kind of get a range there. And so that's me pretty much in a nutshell. Very reserved.
So what DaNaia just described herself as is a extremist. She's either extremely laid back or she's turned up. Pay attention to this stuff. Pay attention to this stuff. See, and see, you have to do this with people who claim to be victims of certain things like a narcissist. You see? Because really what they trying to do is they throw guys in a bag, or they use this as a way to throw a guy away after they feel like they've been thrown away. You see? When nobody actually gets a glimpse of the woman's character. And see, this is what we have to begin to point out. And I'm doing this for guys in the future. A guy who may like a DaNaia Jackson. And what he needs to be aware of. Because let's say if Derek was a narcissist, right? You now have to be aware of you dealing with DaNaia after dealing with a narcissist. Because these women are not nothing to play with after dealing with these types of dudes. Because a lot of them are nothing to play with while they in the relationship with these guys. What's up, Les Troll? You see? Yes, it's very misused, especially when it comes to men. When a man's not a pushover, he's a narcissist. When a man's not a yes man, he's a narcissist. That's just something that's really thrown around on the internet. It's really an internet thing.
I'm very loyal, sometimes clearly to my own detriment.
Yeah.
And so that's a little bit about me.
Well, when you say loyal to your own detriment, has that always been the case?
I feel like it has, at least in my adult years. Probably not so much as a child, but when I'm looking back on why that is, it stems back to a root of like rejection and abandonment that I had. And so as I grew up into my adult life, I definitely would say it was more in that aspect. So
we think about abandonment.
Okay, now we have to point that part out. She's dealt with rejection and abandonment, fellas. She dealt with rejection and abandonment. These are the issues that she had. These are the issues that she had. Keep that in mind. Let's continue.
But what do you go back on when you hear yourself say, when I think about the abandonment that I've come from? Let's unpack that.
Yeah, so abandonment. With my father, I had teenage parents. My mom was 16 when she had me. My father was 18. They never really had a relationship per se. They were just supposed to be playing video games.
They were playing with other things.
Surprise! Here you go. Merry Christmas, right? Because my birthday is in December, a couple days before Christmas. So
Okay.
video games, here I go, the present. And so, you know, there's a little bit of rejection and abandonment there, right? Because I never really had parents that were a couple.
Yeah.
Right. And then in that, because of that, you know, there was some question about whether or not I was actually my father's or not. And so then I had that, even though I wasn't even born yet to receive that per se, but that still affected me because I grew up and found out about that. And then there was rejection. And then just the relationship that I had with my father growing up, I felt like he just wasn't as present as he could be, or he would always not come through or follow through on his promises when he said he would do something. And so that all affected me. And then boom, he died when I was 12. And so then, you know, I'm just left to try to figure out this thing on my own. And so there's abandonment, there's rejection there. And as I was younger, I used to be like a tomboy per se, right? And that was because I wanted the affection of my father. I had two brothers at the time, and so they were playing football. He was their football coach. He was involved in all their activities, and I'm over here, you know, just this little chubby girl over here.
You're chubby.
I was fat. I was fat, you know.
You're a fat little girl.
I was. My mom was in culinary school at the time, so she was practicing, and I was eating.
You're helping her pass her assignments.
Exactly. And so I would try to, you know, win his affection and his love by trying to be like a tomboy, like my brothers, like play football. I wanted to be on a
Now, she was trying to win his affection. She was trying to win her dad's affection. Was good, work class. Shout out to my brother, the underrated darkness. She was trying to win her dad's affection. She felt she had abandonment issues, rejection issues. See, notice I'm pointing this stuff out because a lot of these women who get online and talk about these narcissistic men, Black men in particular, right? They have these same issues DaNaia Jackson has. That has nothing to do with these guys who they're claiming to be narcissists. You see? These women have previous issues which have attracted them to the men that they're attracted to. And she's going to go into her attraction to Derrick Jackson. See, because I notice with a lot of you women who talks this stuff, who are throwing the narcissist tag on Derrick, right? I noticed that a lot of you women are attracted to Derrick Jackson. I noticed this stuff. Y'all are attracted to the narcissistic archetype. And it's because of y'all own attitudes. And the reason why I'm doing this show for the fellas is to let you fellas know, beware of the DaNaia Jackson archetype. These types of women, they cannot love good men. See, I know that may sound harsh, boo-hoo, whatever. Every woman don't want a good man. Every woman can't stand to be with a good man because she can't that's not what she wants. That's not what she desires. See, because what's a good man to a lot of these women is what they consider to be good. It is not actually good traits. It is what they consider to be good. So if having threesomes is good for them, he's a good man. Bring another women in the bedroom. Bring another women in the house. Running this poly game. See, he's only a good guy because you're getting what you want from the guy that you want. Notice this, fellas. So to the guys who are actually good guys, right? You wonder why you can never measure up with these types of women. She can never love you because she loves the man that she claims to be a narcissist. Let's continue.
On a football team. My mom was like, absolutely not. But all of that stemmed from my childhood. And then that transformed as I grew older and then transformed into the relationship that everybody is interested in. So,
So, did you deal with any type of childhood trauma when you think about it outside of abandonment?
So again, my dad did never follow really through on his promises. So when I would go over there, sometimes that would cause some issues between him and my stepmom, and then I would be at my grandma's house. And
now let's unpack that. Let's unpack that. She said, because he just asked her, did you have some childhood traumas, outside of abandonment? She said, yeah, rejection because her dad wasn't following through on certain of his promises. So that will cause issues between him and the stepmother. See, notice a lot of times too, how they never tell the whole story. They always pull parts out. Because she never said that her parents got divorced. She never said that her dad remarried. So your rejection and your resentment came from your father finding another woman. You see? What promises he didn't come through on? You talking about the shit he promised your mother? Because see, what usually happens is children who are not taught boundaries in a house that's whole, what'll happen is when things are going on in a relationship between adults, children try to get in between. They try to have an opinion about what's going on. They try to have a voice in the matter. When you didn't know what was going on, DaNaia, how you have resentment for your father? No, you had resentment for that other woman. See, what she's describing is she was the same way that she's with Derek. She's the same way with her father when it came to other women. You see, she didn't care about her dad being with another woman as long as she still got what she wanted. See, this shit started with her when she was a little girl. She been this way. See, this is why she didn't have a problem with Derek dealing with other women. Long as you give me what I want. Long as you don't leave me out. So you got to pay attention and break this stuff down. You got to listen to what's being said. See, this is why a lot of women call me an asshole, because I actually listen to what y'all say. And then that's how I know how to ask the right questions and come to the correct conclusion of things, because I listen to what's actually being said. Well, y'all think a lot of men don't listen. I'm one of them that actually listen. And when you're a man that listen, that's when you become an asshole, because you actually listened and you actually understood. And now she feels convicted because she thought you weren't listening. See, let's continue to listen to DaNaia Jackson. Listen to her, fellas. Be very careful of these types and stay far away from them.
And so
You say it was cause issues. Like what? What do you mean?
So they would just have like their little arguments or whatever. And I felt like it was always about me. But of course, I'm a child, so
Yeah.
I don't know adult things at that time. But how I internalized it and what I carried with me is that, oh, this is about me being over here. Now I'm over here, I'm disrupting their little family union. And, you know, my mom is over here. And I feel like maybe she's jealous of my mom or something like that, you know? And this is all going on while I'm a child. So this is what I grew up with what the capacity that I had. And so that was pretty much the main trauma that I had. I didn't have another trauma until I was 19 where I was raped. And so I still kind of include that in childhood trauma. So
it's been an interesting thing with this season of the podcast. It's like almost every woman that has sat down on this couch during this season have dealt with sexual trauma, sexual assault, rape.
yes.
It was a statistic that I read that was 1 in 5 women have dealt with sexual assault. And then now they said there's probably 1 in 3 or something, like crazy.
Absolutely.
What happened in that? Was it a boyfriend, a date rape situation, a relative, or what happened, if you don't mind sharing?
So I was 19. I was on summer from college actually, and I was going out to a party that I didn't tell my mom about. I was, you know, doing my own thing, and
DaNaia, you are not doing your own thing. It's called being sneaky. You were being sneaky, DaNaia. This is what I don't like with these fake ass victims of narcissists. They always doing some sneaky backdoor shit they don't have no business doing. Then when they get burned for being sneaky, now you need somebody to blame. Now you need to blame it on something. Now something's wrong with society. No, you're sneaky. You're sneaky. That happened to you, and it was totally wrong. There's no excuse for a man ever doing that to a woman. But you were being sneaky, DaNaia. You weren't doing your own thing. You were being sneaky. Remember, you was a tomboy. Remember that? See why you got to listen to them when they talk? Because remember, she said she was a tomboy. So why was you sneaking off partying, going to be around boys when you was a tomboy? Remember? You want to dress like boys. You want to play football. So why you want to go be around boys? Why you sneaking to go be around boys if you a tomboy? Huh? You was gonna talk to girls? No, you was going to be fresh. That's what you was going to do. That's what you was going to do. Don't try to hide. See, because a lot of them do that too. You try to hide that you was hot in the ass, because that's what you was going to be, DaNaia. That's what you was going to be. I'm not saying that that's why that happened to you. I'm telling you that that's what you was going to be. And being that you was sneaking around to do that, something bad happened to you that shouldn't have happened to you. It shouldn't have happened to you for you being sneaky either. But it happened at the behest of you being sneaky and lying. See, fellas, you got to be aware of these types, because they'll always try to blame you for some shit when they're the architects of the whole situation. They're behind the whole situation. Shout out to Alonzo Hall. And Ma says, that box was hot. That box was hot. Facts. Let's continue to listen to her logic. Let's continue.
I went there and I did have an ex-boyfriend there, and a couple other people, my family, my brothers.
You went there and your ex-boyfriend was there. Why would you go somewhere and your ex-boyfriend there? Huh? Your ex-boyfriend is there. Why you're there? Because you knew he was going to be there. And you know why? We know why you went there, DaNaia. Because see, based on what you talking about, DaNaia, we already know you wasn't a virgin. And we not, and this is before you got raped. So we know you didn't lose your virginity to being raped. We know that. Because right now, she's speaking on what led up to her getting raped at 19, where she went to this party with her brothers where her ex-boyfriend was. So your ex-boyfriend is a commonplace here. Right. Because he tapped that ass before, DaNaia. See, we're not stupid. You went there to get your cheeks clapped again, because you like how he clapped them when he was your boyfriend. Right, DaNaia? Why else would a woman go somewhere knowing her ex-boyfriend there if she ain't trying to get no sneak dick? If you ain't sneak dicking, why you going somewhere where your ex at if you ain't trying to get no dick? Huh? Oh, but she's a victim. Right. Let's continue.
Were there and their friends and things like that. And so we were all drinking, having a good time. I was downstairs, and one of the people there decided that they, seen me and they wanted what they wanted. And so I was grabbed from behind. I was pushed down, and then, there's that story of being raped, but everybody was upstairs, so they couldn't hear me downstairs, in the basement.
Wait a minute. And as I said, I'm not making light of what happened to this woman. But you mean to tell me that look how nonchalant she is. Pay attention to her body language. Usually when women speak about a situation that happened to them of this magnitude, their body language is much more, depleted. Notice how she's speaking with confidence about what happened. Oh yeah, and so that's what happened. Like, let's move on. Like, yeah, it happened. Let's move on. What? What? So you're that removed from your feelings about that happening to you? See, the reason why I'm pointing this out, because I'm pointing this out because this is her character. Pay attention to her character. She's not even moved by this. This stuff doesn't affect her. Man, it's some women where that stuff happened to them 20, 30 years ago, and they still cry talking about it. This girl just started going to therapy and don't even shed a goddamn tear. She admitted she just started unpacking all this trauma. No crying. No tissue. No tissue. Like how have you just so, good with this stuff? What's up, Tanisha? Tanisha Crawford. Double C in the building. Notice, just notice this stuff, y'all. But she's supposed to be a victim. She's supposed to be a victim. Let's continue.
Screaming with over the music and all of that. So
how'd you process that? Did you tell anybody?
I did not process it. And so here, I did not process it at all. I didn't tell anybody. In fact, then I didn't go home that night. I actually stayed in the house with my abuser, right? Well, not like in the same place, but they were like upstairs, I stayed the night. I didn't tell my mom where I was at. And I actually lied to her and told her, hey, I was at my uncle's house with my.
So she spent the night. She spent the night. Fellas, this is why I'm telling y'all, be careful getting with these types of women, man. These DaNaia Jacksons are very, very dangerous. This girl's dangerous, man. This girl is on sociopath level. This girl's crazy. I hope y'all know this. This girl is nuts. She's crazy. This girl's crazy. This girl says she spent the night. She spent the night in the house with the guy who raped her and then lied to her mother. And why did she lie to her mother? She lied to her mother because her mother didn't know she was fucking. You see? Because remember, she was a tomboy. See this? Fellas, this girl's dangerous. This girl's dangerous, man. She's dangerous. She's dangerous. This girl's dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Because, see, I'm going to keep it 1,000. You know why she stayed in that house? Because she still wanted to get fucked by the ex-boyfriend. Take it how you want to take it. That's the goddamn truth. Because remember, that was the whole reason for her going to the party, because the ex-boyfriend was there. So she spent the night after that horrible situation happened because she still wanted what she wanted. That's why she spent the night.
My aunt and my brothers, and so I never told her, and I never told anybody else. I actually held it for 6 years, 5 years, 5 years, and then I briefly mentioned it to Derek at one point because he was talking to someone at the time, and then it came up like in the conversation. I was like, I was raped, and this just triggered that. And he was like, what? So he didn't even find out till 5 years. And it was just brief conversation. And then I never really dealt with it. I never got that therapy or counseling. And I didn't get that until I was 30, which at that point was about 12 years after the experience. And when I started unpacking it, I started to realize how much that single event really affected my life, affected my sex life in marriage, affected my mental and emotional state, affected almost every aspect that I didn't even know that it was affecting.
First of all, thank you for sharing that. It's always hard for me to hear that. I'm trying to be present at it because I have a daughter.
Yes.
And one of the things that I was super vigilant about that, because me and her mom wasn't together as my daughter was matriculating through her adolescent years. And I was always like super like, who you dating? Who's this guy? I want to know. Like I was just on edge because I said, I just never wanted my daughter to ever have to experience that. And for me to have to experience that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I would have reacted and responded.
It's hard. It's hard when you have girls, and a lot of times it happens with people that you know,
Yeah.
and that you trust, right? So my abuser is somebody that I know, or knew, and so your guard is automatically let down. It's not something that you can anticipate. So it's like, okay, you're doing the right thing, asking the questions where you're at, what you're doing, but sometimes you have to be like, I don't care who it is, uncle, brother, cousin, grandpa. If you feel uncomfortable at all, I need you to let me know so then we can address it, so.
Again, thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So you met your husband at what age and how'd y'all meet?
At 19, we met in business calc class at Tuskegee University.
Hold on. So you met him shortly after your rape experience?
I did 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
There it is. There it is. She got with Derek 3 weeks after that tragic situation. Three weeks after. So Derek did what to her now? Derek hurt her in what way now? Now let's listen to what she thought about being with Derek Jackson. Now we're going to listen to how she felt being with this hunk, this handsome man. Let's listen.
3 weeks after I met him in class. Yes. Right. And so then we add on another layer, right? I went straight into a relationship. Even though it wasn't like immediately we started dating, but I met him and there was interest there. I went straight into that without even acknowledging dealing with the rape. I pretended like it never even happened. And
She pretended like it never even happened. Fellas, you see why I'm telling you why she can never love you? These types of women, they could never love you. Travis Rogers, salute. They could never love you. They're gonna have to. This woman is gonna have to go through so much unpacking of trauma before she can ever love a man. This woman put what happened to her on the back burner because of this new guy she wanted. She wanted. Notice DaNaia Jackson has a habit of doing what she wants. Pay attention. Notice every time we stop and break something down, it's about what DaNaia wants. And whatever DaNaia wants, notice it's never good for her. But she always get what she wants. She's always going to get what she wants. Because her name is DaNaia. See, it's women like that out here, fellas. And they'll play victim to get what they want. They will perpetuate being a victim to get what they want. Who's the narcissist?
got myself into a relationship unhealed. So
What attracted you to Derek?
he's very charming. He's very charming. When you see him, he has a charisma.
He's very charming. He's very charming. Notice when they describe these men as being narcissists, what is one of their number one traits that they say these guys are? Charming. He was so charming. Let's continue.
Charisma and a presence about him that is just like it sucks you in automatically. And then he's very funny. And so that humor drew me in as well. Of course, he has the looks to go with it. So there's that.
So it's a perfect little balance of
Yeah,
everything.
it's a perfect balance of it all.
He's a perfect man, according to her. He has the looks. He has charisma. It just sucks you in. Of course it's going to do that, DaNaia, because you just admitted that you are unhealed. So of course it's going to appear this way. Because at the end of the day, what you really focused on is how he looks. And that's what you said. Plus the looks. Yeah, that's why you really was infatuated with him. Let's get into it now. Let's get into it now.
So when you first saw him, did you just see him as somebody that, oh, I'm interested in him? Where is he pursuing you, or y'all start off as friends and it evolved to something greater? Or
No,
what?
so I actually was very quiet. Again, I'm pretty quiet overall and to myself, but he see me in class. I was the quiet girl in class, and he was like, "Hey, are you a model?" I was like, I used to do some modeling, right? Because I had all these pictures of me doing some modeling stuff from high school and all that on my little binder. You
Yeah.
know, I'm still having this high school mentality with all the pictures on the binder. So I'm like, this is cool. I'm going to put all these picture collage on here, right? And so I had all that on there. And he was like, "What did you model?" And I was like, I used to do some modeling. And he's like, "Can you tutor me?" I was like, Yeah,
So you
right.
wasn't just a quiet girl, you was a smart girl too?
Yes, quiet and smart, right? And
Quiet and smart and a freak. Let's not forget that, DaNaia. You're easy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You see him, you like him, you got him. Right, DaNaia? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Use a little sneak freak. Let's not forget to add that. You're not just pretty and smart. Okay? See, notice how they like to forget certain stuff. See, this is why I like to listen and break down what's being said. Because notice she ain't gonna add the sex element to it. She ain't gonna add the fact that she a freak and how she give it up easy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And you was ready to give it up to old Derek. Yup. Because you ain't never think a dude that look like that will give you some attention. Yup. Now, with you being with a guy who looks like that puts you on a higher social ladder, right? Let's continue.
I had these crazy braids in my hair that were not upkept. I had pimples all over my face. So it's like one of those classic movies where it's like that, the ugly duckling, smart girl in the corner, and then all of a sudden, look at this face. You know?
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it for yourselves. I bet not hear y'all say Derek's a narcissist now. She just told y'all what it is. Let me rewind it so y'all hear it again. I don't want to hear Derek's a narcissist. I'm going to rewind this part real quick. No, sorry.
Modeling, right? Because I had all these pictures of me doing some modeling stuff from high school and all that on my little binder.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still having this high school mentality with all the pictures on the binder. So I'm like, this is cool. I'm going to put all these picture collage on here, right? And so I had all that on there. And he was like, "What did you model?" And I was like, I used to do some modeling. And he's like, "Can you tutor me?" I was like, Yeah.
So you
Right.
wasn't just a quiet girl, you was a smart girl too?
Yes, quiet and smart, right? And I had these crazy braids in my hair that were not upkept. I had pimples all over my face. So it's like one of those classic movies where it's like that, the ugly duckling, smart girl in the corner, and then all of a sudden, look at this face. You know?
Oh, but Derek's a narcissist. Huh? Derek's the narcissist, though. Derek did her wrong. Really? Really? It sounds like she got a new grip on life dealing with Derek. It sounds like she got a little dealing with Derek. It sounds like she became a little more infatuated with herself the more she was with Derek. She got confidence. You heard what she just said? The ugly duckling with all the bumps on her face. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. But Derek's the narcissist. Okay. He's too corny to be a narcissist. Did you hear his game? Oh, do you model? Can you tutor me?
You know, you're right. And so it was like one of those classic fairy tale kind of stories in that regard. But he asked me to tutor him. We met up in the library, and I'm so awkward. He's like I'm sitting on the opposite end of the table, and I'm just like this.
You're talking about way across.
Yeah, way across. And I'm just like, okay, are you ready? And he's like, why are you so like stiff? Like, why are you sitting that far? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, it is okay to like be a little bit closer.
Had you not been in a relationship before then? You haven't had a boyfriend?
I had a high school boyfriend.
Yeah.
And but it was I went to all white high school.
Okay.
So, okay, let's put this in some context. I went to all white high school pretty much. There were some black people there, of course, but it was different than going to all black college. So,
oh yeah, the culture shock,
right? And so
you said, where all this swag coming from?
Right.
These guys
I don't even know what this means. Like, I don't know what that is. It's different in a more diverse or lack of diverse school. And so it was an adjustment all around. And so I had to get used to that because he introduced me to a whole new world of black culture. I got my black stripe going to.
She got her black stripe. I gotta say this. Raven says, I remember seeing Derek at Tuskegee when I was there. Shout out to Tuskegee. He was a junior when I was a freshman. He played football. A lot of girls wanted him. She said, Derek gave her her black card. So that means before that, she was having sex with white dudes. Derek put that black in her life. That's what Derek did. That's what Derek did. Derek introduced her. Derek introduced her to that. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Derek showed her how it feel to get plastered. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what. Look at it. Look at her face. Look what Derek did to her. Look what he did to her. This is what DaNaia likes. DaNaia loves sex. See that? You see that? And that's what this shit boils down to. DaNaia loves sex. See, that's what DaNaia loves. And DaNaia loves having sex with the men she wants to. That's different guys. She don't mind. Because DaNaia likes, she wants what she wants. I get what I want. She's that type. You see? So Derek introduced her, to Athletic Johnson and Co. Look at her face. This is what DaNaia likes. This is what DaNaia cares about. Let her keep talking. Shout out to William. Let her keep talking. Let her keep talking.
Tuskegee and being in this relationship. So
And so how did it transition from you being his tutor to him tutoring you in some things?
that is good. That's good. I got schooled, okay, for years. No. We after the tutoring, we were having conversations nearly daily. Like the first 3 days, it felt like I know him for my whole life.
Yeah.
And literally we were on the phone, we're sleeping on the phone, like those first 3 days, having all kinds of conversations. And it was like, oh my gosh, I've known you all my life. This is a fairy tale. I love you. You know, like when are we getting married and having kids? Like,
Hold up. Wait a minute. So what y'all are telling me right now, right? What y'all are telling me right now is within the first few days of her so-called tutoring him, he got the draws. He got the draws. Because no guy sits on the phone and act like, we getting ready to be together, and then he ain't score. So he got some of DaNaia within the first few days. But Derek's a narcissist. Derek is a narcissist. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's continue to listen to her. Let's continue.
like it was all
Were you
of
thinking
that.
this or were you saying this?
All of the
Y'all were talking about marriage and stuff?
Not necessarily marriage, but it was definitely
Having
like
kids?
I like you. Like I've known you my whole life. This is so easy.
Yeah.
Like, where have you been?
Yeah.
This is right here in this
19
moment.
years old.
Yes.
Where have you been all my life?
Exactly.
All the 19 years of my existence.
Exactly. All 19 years of my life. I miss you. I love you. This is what, and so it was great. It's pure ecstasy. And
it was pure ecstasy. Notice he asked, did y'all talk about marriage? No. I thought Derek was a Christian. He wasn't a Christian when he was in Tuskegee? Huh? He wasn't a Christian when he was at Tuskegee? What you mean y'all never talked about marriage? DaNaia? It was pure ecstasy. Yeah, because y'all whole relationship was based on sex. And these women who didn't consider these guys narcissistic are just in sexually bound relationships. You don't even know the dude. You don't even care to know him because it's about pure ecstasy, like she just said out her mouth. Fellas, be aware of these women, they don't know how to love good men. They don't know how. They don't know how. I didn't say they can't. I said they don't know how. Because they're too in love with themselves. DaNaia Jackson is the narcissist. She's a narcissist. She can't love you. She loves a narcissist herself. See, y'all thought I was talking about Derek. That's why y'all came in here. When I put She Loves a Narcissist in the title, you thought I was talking about Derek, didn't you? No, she loves her goddamn self. She's in love with herself. She is self-serving. It's all about DaNaia, the ugly girl in the back of the class with the bumps, that's now with the football guy who all the women want, but that's her man. See, she has an ego about that. That's why she up there presenting herself that way, and she's not hurt because she's not a victim of anything. She has positioned herself. And now she's going to get back at Derek. Because remember, she already admitted in the beginning of the interview that she's passive aggressive. She's either passive aggressive or she's super aggressive. She's attacking Derek. This is not a play between her and Derek. She's attacking him. You want to embarrass me, nigga? You want to show the world that I'm not your wife? After I allowed you to do this, Derek? I allowed you to put me through this, Derek, because I wanted what I wanted, which is you. And you're going to give me what I want. And if you don't come back to me, I'm going to destroy you, Derek. That's what this is about. Let's continue.
And so from there, we spent pretty much every day together. And about 1 month after just meeting, he asked me to be his girlfriend on Valentine's Day. So that was like our unofficial anniversary for years. Yeah, he had this big old heart and he had his shirt off and he was like, will you be my girl?
He had his shirt off?
Yes. He was fine too. I was like, yes, DaNaia, look at you. Everybody thought you were a nerd, but here you go.
That's what I'm about to say. What were people thinking? Here you were, this quiet little nerdy girl that you said that had pimples all over your face, but then you get the
doesn't match.
You get the sexy. What did he play football?
He did play football.
So you got the sexy jock. Like,
yeah.
like what was that about?
Fire. Like for me, that's what I was thinking. Like, listen, DaNaia, you have upgraded. You are coming into it, right?
Didn't I just said it. I just said it. Oh, there go DS1 overreacting again. How you know it ain't that deep, nigga? It ain't that deep. Oh, she just said it out of her mouth. She just said everything I just said out her own mouth. So go ahead and, he's overreacting again. No, she just said it. She just said it. She just said it. Yeah, there it is. She just said it. She just said it. Right after I said it, she did. She just said it. And you know I don't keep notes. She just said it. This is about her, not Derek. So how's Derek the narcissist? How's Derek the narcissist? This shit has nothing to do with Derek. It has all to do with DaNaia. And DaNaia getting what she wants. And when DaNaia gets upset, shit get to moving around DaNaia. When DaNaia don't get what she want, somebody ass is on a chopping block. Because that's how DaNaia been since she was a little girl. Because she already admitted that when she used to go to her father's house and her father wasn't giving her attention, she used to start shit so her father and her stepmother start arguing. And then they'll send her ass to her grandmama house. She been doing this shit since she was a little girl. Oh, but Derek's the narcissist. She been pulling these types of stunts since she was a little girl. She said it out of her own mouth, not me. Where we heard it. We heard her say it. She been pulling these types of stunts since she was a little girl to get her goddamn way. To get her way. Because it's about DaNaia. It ain't about Derek. It ain't about Derek being a star. It's about Derek being with the nerdy girl, who's now not a nerd, who's actually a hottie, who's a baddie now because of Derek. So she's the center of attention, not Derek. It's never been about Derek to her. It has never been about dudes, period. She already told you she resented her father. You got to listen, fellas. You got to listen.
And so I think a lot of people, I think there's a lot of hatred overall.
Yeah.
You know, most people didn't say a whole lot, but I think there's a lot of hatred about it. And then it's like, it doesn't match because he is more outgoing and personable. And I'm just like, you know, the literally awkward Black girl that went to an all-white high school. So there's a balance there.
What did he see in you? Because he had to have said that to you before. What did he see in you?
Okay. So he said that he liked that I was like smart, and of course he loved my eyes. And I feel like now, like looking back on it, I feel like there was a lot of compliments on like the physical attributes, as opposed to more of the mental and emotional attributes that I had. But then again, you know, we were in love after 3 days. So seriously.
So you weren't chubby no more in college, huh?
I was.
Wait a minute. Y'all don't, if you notice too, notice how she keeps speaking for Derek. But Derek's the narcissist. But notice she keeps saying, we were in love after 3 days. We were in love. We felt like this. We. And then when she's not talking about we, she's talking about me. Well, this is how I felt. And this is how I did. And this is what I felt. And then she's speaking for Derek. Well, we were in love after 3 days. No, y'all were in love after having sex for 3 days straight. Y'all wasn't in love. Y'all was in lust. You were in love with the fact that you were with a guy that you thought you could never have, DaNaia. And you wasn't in love with him. You was infatuated with the fact that a guy of his stature will even give you a chance. Notice what she said. He complimented more on her being smart, more than her being pretty. You got to listen to her. So he don't think you pretty, but he having sex with you every goddamn day. And you're allowing it. But he's the narcissist. Okay, let's continue.
I still had a little bit of chub. I was in the marching band for a little bit, so I had slimmed down a little bit there, but I still had a little bit of weight on me, but it was proportion. I feel like, you know,
it was enough for him to like her.
Enough. Listen, he did not complain, and I wasn't complaining either. So there's that.
There's that. 3 days we in love. We're gonna get married and have a bunch of kids.
Absolutely. Listen, I made him them peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Listen, you ain't going nowhere. White or wheat. I made white or wheat. You like the crust on or what?
Yeah, you trimmed a little crust around the side.
Sure did. Real story.
Cut into a little heart and give it to him. That's our anniversary sandwich.
Exactly. I actually really did that, believe it or not.
I know.
Do I have to continue? Should I do a part 2? Because we almost at 2 hours. Should I do a part 2? Because look at where we are. Look, it's so much more to unpack. We're only at 24 minutes, 23 minutes and 54 seconds. And you heard what she just said? You heard what she said to prove what I said already. This is about her. She said she made him peanut butter jelly sandwiches just the way he wanted them. Because she knew, you my man, you ain't going nowhere. You heard what she said? Let me rewind it. For y'all think I'm exaggerating. Let me rewind it again. For y'all that's just coming in, let me rewind it again so y'all can hear her say it out of her own mouth. Y'all can hear her say it out of her own mouth. Watch this.
I feel like there was a lot of compliments on like the physical attributes as opposed to more of the mental and emotional attributes that I had. But then again, we were in love after 3 days. So seriously. And
so you weren't chubby no more in college, huh?
I still had a little bit of chub. I was in the marching band for a little bit. So I was, I had slimmed down a little bit there, but I still had a little bit of weight on me, but it was proportion. I feel like,
It was enough for him to like her.
Enough. Listen, he did not complain and I wasn't complaining either. So there's that.
There's that. 3 days we in love. We're going to get married and have a bunch of kids.
He wasn't complaining. And I wasn't complaining. He had to like it. And she loved it. Who's the narcissist here?
Absolutely. Listen, I made him them peanut butter jelly sandwiches. He was, listen, you ain't going nowhere. White or wheat. I made white or wheat. You like the crust on or what?
Yeah, you trimmed a little crust around the side.
Sure did. Real story.
Cut into a little heart and give it to him. That's our anniversary sandwich.
Exactly. I actually really did that. Believe it or not.
I know we all trying to do the best we can with whatever gesture we had at that moment.
Yes.
So I love it. I love that they call it puppy love.
Yes.
I love that moment. And so y'all were in college together. You were 19. Are y'all around the same age?
Yes, he was 19 as well. He's 5 months older than me.
5 months older than you. Y'all both 19. Y'all both in college. And when did it change from dating to engagement? How long did that take?
9 years.
9 years.
Yes, we got married 9 years later.
9 years later.
So it's a long time.
That's a long time. But it makes sense when you start off at 19.
Yes.
So you got married around 28.
Yes.
About 28.
Yes,
that's how old I was when I got married. So you're 28 years old, and y'all were in a committed relationship. Were there any infidelity or cheating during that 9 years?
I can't really say commitment is a big word. So let's tone that down a little bit. Commitment is a big word.
Well, I got to tone the word.
I see y'all saying, yeah, let's do a part 2. We got to do a part 2. Y'all heard what she just said. There wasn't even no commitment. For 9 years, there was no commitment. She's saying this, not Derek. Y'all calling Derek a narcissist. She's saying they were not committed. This is coming out of the woman's mouth, not the man. It's coming out of her mouth. She said they were not committed. For 9 years, they was just having sex, y'all. Just freaking off. And she has no problem saying it. Derek ain't get up here and lie. Derek ain't get up here and say nothing. She said it. There was no commitment. Oh, but Derek's a narcissist. How? There was no commitment on her behalf or on his, according to her. Fellas, you better be aware of these types. These women don't know how to love men, man. They don't know how. They don't know how. You heard what she just said. This is a game to her. How's she a victim of a narcissist? This is a game to her. 9 years just laying up having sex with a college football jock. This is fun to her. This is exhilarating, pure ecstasy, like she said. Oh, but Derek's a narcissist? This is pure ecstasy to her. The ugly Betty having sex with a football jock, getting all the attention of being his girlfriend. This is a life. This is a dream. But Derek's the narcissist? Derek's the narcissist? We definitely gonna do a part 2. What's up, peace, love? Good to see you, sweetheart. World Class says they know how to hate us, though. No, sorry. We're going to do a part 2. Part 2 will be coming tomorrow. Y'all stay tuned right here on Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everyone for coming through. We're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to continue to unpack this. Because according to her, what came out of her mouth, there was no commitment. Even up to them getting engaged, there was no commitment. For 9 years, she wasn't committed and he wasn't. They was committed to being nasty. That's what they were committed to. They were running around having fun. All of the college fun she wanted to have, she had it with Derek. She had it with Derek. You see? So we're going to get back to this tomorrow. We're going to get back to this tomorrow. Thank you, Miss Angie. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone for coming through to today's show. If you enjoyed today's show, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share today's show. Make sure you share today's show. Share it on your community tabs, your Facebooks, Instagrams, Twitter, anywhere that you share content. Make sure you share today's show. Shout out to everyone for coming through. Shout out to my brother Double C. He says when he was making $100K a month, he wasn't a narcissist. When he was exposed, now it's a different story. Their relationship was a house of cards built on sand. I totally agree, Double C. Shout out to you, my brother. I appreciate the super chat. Shout out to everyone who sent the super chat as well. Shout out to everyone who has donated to the show. If you have donated to the show monetarily, is very much appreciated. Most importantly, I appreciate you guys being here. So make sure you guys hit the like button and share the show. If you haven't yet, make sure you go ahead and don't. Make sure you go ahead and leave a comment. Leave a comment. Get down in the comment section. Let me know what you think, because we will be back tomorrow with a part 2. As y'all asked for, we will be back tomorrow with a part 2, breaking this stuff down, letting you guys know to be careful of the DaNaia Jackson archetype. Be careful of these types of women, fellas. Be careful. Be careful. Just like there's male narcissists out here, there's female narcissists as well. There's female narcissists as well. Okay? So shout out to everyone. We will be back tomorrow with part 2. So make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content right here on Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to all you visionaries. Shout out to all of the mods for holding down the Chizat as always. Yeah, you got to catch the playback, my brother. Shout out to my guy, GQ. Shout out to GQ, man. We will be back tomorrow, same time, 2:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV with a part 2 of today's show. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.